You have an ID?
No, I don't want to give it to you. Why do I have to?
Because my attorney said not to.
Why do I have to give it to you? This is evidence. She's under arrest. I have to go with it. I have to go. I have to go. You don't have to go with it. Let me help you out. No, I have to stay. Please don't do it. Don't stay. You need to grab the bags. Take the bags. Yeah. And you need to wait outside. Okay.
My husband's almost 80 years old. He can't
Yeah,
come
I
with
can't. Please, can I go? No, you can't join me there. Oh, don't do this, please.
Please.
Oh,
Someone's got
God.
to help him get home. This is terrible. You can't do this. This is insane.
Is that okay with you?
Please, you don't have that with handcuffs on. She's not going anywhere. Please. Please.
You have anything in your pocket?
No.
Do you have anything of value in you?
No, I
Plus you have a necklace on. You
Wanna go?
can take
My-
it
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, take it off. Yeah.
and the earrings.
And the earring, you said, there's
You are listening to the Roberta Glass True Crime Report, putting the true back in true crime. From New York City, Roberta Glass is now on the record. Oh, okay. Wait, how did everything get switched around? Oddly. Here we go. Here we go. Hello, everyone. It was a long day of jury selection in Donna Adelson's trial. Hello, Victoria, Maestro, Audrey. Who else? A-Day. She Fly 9, Scott. Hello, Gill, Rosenberg. Hello, Pepper. I haven't seen Pepper in a long time. Hello, everybody. And pretty uneventful day. We saw Donna Adelson surrounded by what could have been, they could have been junior lawyers, or they could have been paralegals. We don't know. But they were rubbing her back. I guess she's a little nervous about the beginning of her trial. But Judge Everett started very early, so early I didn't even get a chance to get off the introduction. It was like he came on before 9. He was starting. So let's get into it. I'll show you what we all watched this morning. And it was done behind closed doors, beyond the view of the camera. So we won't know really the ins and out of jury selection. In Charlie Adelson's trial, they released all that footage after the verdict, which was fascinating to watch how the jury was picked. Also fascinating to observe Charlie Adelson's, my view, sleazeball jury consultant. But here we go. Here is Donna Adelson for jury selection. Here's the first day of jury selection, what it looked like.
This is a criminal case. The state has charged Mrs. Adelson with the crimes of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder. You will notice at times during this jury selection process today that I will be reading to you. It is not that I do not wish to have a normal or free-flowing conversation, but rather any explanation that you receive on the law during this process must be uniform and it must be specific according to the Florida Supreme Court. Is the state ready to select a jury in this matter?
Yes, Your
Is the defense ready to proceed as well?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
And for the record, I'm noting that Mrs. Adelson is present in the courtroom with her counsel. I believe downstairs a few minutes ago, you spoke with Judge Ashenofi Richardson, where she went through the qualification process with you concerning who is actually eligible to serve as a juror in the state of Florida. What I'm going to do, just to make sure that anyone at this point would otherwise qualify to be excused by statute, I'm just going to confirm this.
No, that's the word, is that there's been no addition to the docket. So Donna did not hire a jury consultant, it looks like. And what's interests me about that is that on all the jailhouse calls, we have Donna and Charlie talking about how great Josh Dubin was. Did I just call him Justin? Josh Dubin was. And he's the Innocence Project ambassador. In my view, he gets out guilty people out for fun and profit, for a living, and also virtue signaling. He's a frequent guest on Joe Rogan. This was Charlie Adelson's jury consultant, Josh Dubin, I'm talking about. So when they were talking, Charlie and Donna, about Josh Dubin on the phone, it was always, he's the greatest, he's the best, he couldn't have done any better. But when it comes time for Donna's trial, Donna is not going to throw away her money on Josh Dubin or another jury consultant. And it looks like she's going to put all her money into appeals lawyers. What I heard yesterday from Patty's Playhouse, is that she's already hired appeals lawyers. So she does not have high hopes that she can. I mean, what she's telling herself is that Tallahassee is so unfair and that she can't get a fair trial here. So she's going to hope that the state messes up in some way and violates her rights so she can get out on appeal. So none of the optimism we saw in Charlie's trial. Oh, Charlie, you did great. Oh, we can't believe the jury didn't acquit you. They didn't even deliberate. It was so unfair. Donna's seems to be going, and we won't know till they release the jailhouse calls pre-trial, what she's talking about with Harvey. Although we know some of those calls were recorded on her lawyer's Apple Watches, beyond the watchful ear and eye of Leon County Jail. So not recorded, but we'll find out what Donna was saying on those recorded calls, should they be released post-trial. And so, yeah, very, very, very compelling that Donna, very compelling fact that Donna's not getting a jury consultant in her trial.
Information. By a show of hands, is everyone who has been brought up this morning at least 18 years of age or older? Please raise your hands. For the record, all prospective jurors have answered in the affirmative by raising their hand. Are each of you citizens of the United States of America and residents of Leon County, Florida? Please raise your hands if this is so. Again, for the record, the prospective jurors have raised their hands in the affirmative. Are all of you residents of Leon County? Please raise your hand if this is true. Again, the prospective jurors have raised their hands. Thank you. Do each of you possess a driver's license or identification card that's been issued by the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, or have you executed an affidavit as to your eligibility to serve as a juror? Please raise your hands. Once again, for the record, the prospective jurors have raised their hands in the affirmative. The next series of questions are basically just going to deal with whether anyone should be excused at this point or is ineligible to serve. Has anyone been previously convicted in a state or federal court of any felony crime or a crime of dishonesty, and you have not had your rights restored to you? If this describes your situation, please raise your hand. For the record, none of the prospective jurors have raised their hands. Are any of you at this time under current prosecution for any crime, either in a state or a federal court? Please raise your hands if this describes your situation. Once again, for the record, none of the prospective jurors have raised their hands. As to matters in which you can be excused by law, is any person here a sworn federal, state, or local law enforcement officer or investigative personnel? No hands have been raised in response to the court's questions. Is anyone an expecting mother or a parent responsible for the full-time care of a child under 6 years of age? All right. Sir, if that is, please form a line and I will deal with you momentarily just in the middle. Is anyone present 70 years of age or older? No hands.
I don't know why we have to cut off jury duty. Don't those people seem like, the retired people seem like over 70 years old? Seem like some of the perfect people to serve on juries. I don't know. Seems a little ageist, no? I get 85, maybe 80, but 70. 70 seems awfully young, but maybe I'm just getting old.
Have been raised in response to this question. Has anyone performed state jury service within the last year? And by last year, what I'm referring to would be August 19th, 2024 to today. No hands have been raised in response to that question. Is anyone responsible for the full-time care of a person with a physical or mental incapacity who is incapable of caring for themselves, and your presence will create a hardship? No one has responded in the affirmative to that question. Is anyone a full-time student between the ages of 18 and 21 years of age who is attending a high school, state university, private post-secondary educational institution, Florida college system institution, or career center? Right, if you please can stand behind the gentleman in the aisle. I believe we also have one new one by statute. Has anyone given birth within the 6 months before the reporting date on your summons, and you are seeking to be excused for that reason? No hands have been raised in response. Right, one by one, if you please can come forward, and I will address the issue in which you responded to your questions, or to the court's questions, I should say. The attorney
Okay.
to listen to the court's conversation with the respective juror.
And that was pretty much as active as it
Give you
got.
some very important instructions.
Oh,
Many of you have
here we
cell
go.
phones, computers, and other electronic devices. All right, now that we've settled the issues of who is eligible to serve and actually remain, we are going to proceed with the process this morning. The first thing that we are going to do is to discuss what you may know about this case, if you've heard anything about it at all. This case has received some publicity, and there also was a related case that took place almost 2 years ago. This process is going to be handled individually because you will not need to know what others may already know concerning this matter. However, before we start that questioning, I am going to give you some very important instructions. Many of you have cell phones, computers, and other electronic devices with you. Even though you have not yet been selected as a juror in this case, there are some rules that you must follow about using your cell phones, electronic devices, and computers from this point moving forward. You must not use your phones or devices to search the internet or to find out anything that is related to this case. Between now and when you have actually been discharged from jury selection or jury duty, you must not provide or receive any information about your jury service to anyone, including friends, coworkers, and family members. You may tell those who need to know where you are that you have been called for jury duty. If you are picked for the jury, you may tell people that you have been selected for the jury and how long the case may take. However, you must not give anyone any information about the case itself or the people that are involved in this case. You must also warn people not to try to say anything to you or write to you about your jury service or the case itself. This includes face-to-face interactions, phone or computer communications. In this age of electronic communication, I want to stress to you that you must not use electronic devices or computers to talk about this case. This would include tweeting, texting, blogging, emailing, posting information on a website or chat room, or through any other means at all. Do not send or accept any messages, including email and text messages about your jury service. You must not disclose your thoughts about your jury service or ask for any advice on how to decide the case. Further, you must not read nor listen to any news accounts about the case until you have been excused in this matter. Please avoid the newspaper and television broadcast, particularly the local news stations. Also, avoid any social media or any internet news sites concerning this matter as well. Mr. Zellman, if you still have the statement of case on your computer, I will just read it from that. You may. I'm going to read to you at this time a statement of the case that has been agreed upon by the parties. On July 18th, 2014, FSU College of Law professor Dan Markell was shot while seated in his car. This happened in the driveway of Markell's home on Trescott Drive in the Benton Hills neighborhood. The killers traveled to Tallahassee from Miami to commit the murder in a rented silver green color Prius. The defendant and alleged conspirator in this murder was the former mother-in-law of Dan Markell. She has entered a plea of not guilty. The statement of the case that I have just read to you is not evidence, and it's not to be considered by you as evidence or any proof of guilt. You must not be influenced by this statement. It is merely informing you of the accusation that has been made by the state against the defendant. Before we speak with you individually and privately about this case, some of you may be excused. Mr. Zellman, you can take it. I'm also going to read to you at this time the material part of the indictment that has been filed against the defendant. Once again, the indictment is not evidence, and it's not to be considered as evidence or any proof of guilt. You must not be influenced by the fact that an indictment has been filed in this case. It is merely a formal method by which the state makes an accusation against the defendant. It is alleged in count 1 that on or about July 18, 2014, Donna S. Adelson in the county, Leon, and state of Florida did unlawfully kill a human being, Daniel Markell, by shooting with a firearm, and the killing was perpetrated from or with a premeditated design or intent to effect the death of Daniel Markell.
So interesting the way the language is worded, because this is a murder for hire. Obviously, Donna didn't shoot the gun, but the language of this has Donna's fingers practically wrapped around the gun. It's accurate, but shocking nonetheless.
Contrary to the Florida statutes. Count 2. Beginning in 2013 and until October 1st of 2016, Donna S. Adelson in the county of Leon and state of Florida did agree, conspire, combine, or confederate with Charles Adelson and or Catherine McBanois and or other persons to commit first-degree murder contrary to the Florida statutes. Count 3. It is alleged that beginning in...
She did conspire with unknown persons. You know, unindicted co-conspirators in this case are Harvey Adelson as well as Wendy Adelson.
2013 and until October 1st of 2016, Donna S. Adelson in the county of Leon and state of Florida did solicit another to commit first-degree murder, and in the course of such solicitation, commanded, encouraged, hired, or requested the person, Charles Adelson and or Catherine McBanois, and or other persons to engage in specific conduct which would constitute first-degree murder, which resulted in the death of Daniel Markell, contrary to the Florida statutes. I believe I said this before, but we are now going to speak with each of you individually and privately about this matter. Some of you may be excused during this process. The rest of you will remain to participate in the next phase of the jury selection process. Individual voir dire is time consuming, but will go a lot smoother if you are prepared to tell us what we need to know. The basic questions that you will be asked are the following. Number 1, what do you know about this case? Number 2, what sources have you obtained this knowledge from? Number 3, based on what you know, do you have an opinion about Mrs. Adelson's guilt or innocence? Number 4, can you set aside your present knowledge, disregarding, and render a verdict solely on the evidence presented in the courtroom? Can you be fair and impartial? Number 5, do you have any reason that you cannot serve on this jury for potentially up to 3 weeks? It will save us all a lot of time if you think about these 5 questions and you are prepared to give a prompt answer when you are called back. We are going to discuss one thing with you individually, specifically as it relates to the hardship of serving on this jury. We expect the jury selection process to take until Thursday of this week. After that process is complete, we expect the trial to start on Friday and potentially go for 2 weeks after that. All in total, we expect the proceedings from today may take up to 3 weeks. We understand that is a burden for anyone to serve for that length of time. However, we cannot make our system of justice work unless we have good people that are willing to do their civic duty as jurors. Similar to military service, we will have to call on our citizens at times to make sacrifices. Jury duty is one of those times. You will probably never be called upon again for something of this nature to serve in a lengthy trial. I understand for some of you, this may not be possible under the circumstances. To give you a little more information about what this will involve, you are not going to be sequestered during the trial, meaning you will be capable of going home and returning to the courthouse each day. For the most part, we will work a regular business day, but on occasion it may be necessary to work a little bit longer based on the witness schedules. I will do my best to adhere to a regular schedule so it will not disrupt your lives. Please give some thoughts as to whether any of you may have a major problem, including a physical issue, that would prevent you from giving this case your full attention and performing your duties as a juror. Please be patient with us as we will be working as efficiently as possible. The bailiffs, the clerks, and court administration will be assisting here in the courtroom. Please follow the bailiffs or clerk's instructions. You are not to discuss this case while you are waiting or anywhere else until you have been excused. Also, as well, there is reading material that has been provided by the court in the form of some magazines that are available to you if you would like to read. You also may look at your phones, but you are not to speak to each other or have any conversations about the case or anything else. For this instruction, does anyone have a question? Because I want to clear this up before we get underway. Again, you are not to speak to each other. You are not to discuss the case. You may look at your phones. You are not.
I have a question. What kind of reading material is provided?
Look at any material that is related to this case. You also may read the reading material that has been provided by the court. Please do not listen to or read any media accounts on your phone or anywhere else until you have been excused. We will begin with the individual process at this point. If the parties, please, can relocate to the jury room. We will call each of you by your number, and from there, we will go through the individual screening. If the bailiffs also can position themselves through the room as need be to make sure the orders are going to be enforced.
So does everybody see Donna? That looks like a jacket, not a cardigan there. Is it a cardigan? She looks very matronly and very old and unglamorous, and I think that's the idea. I think she's getting into character early. She's going to play up her age. She's going to play down her wealth. She really looks like someone who would maybe, I don't know, it almost looks like some kind of uniform. So she has on, for those listening on podcast, she has on a light blue button-down collared shirt and I can't tell, I guess it's a cardigan. Yeah, because it goes longer. It's a cardigan, but it looks very jacket-ish. And black pants, and her hair pulled back all the way. No prison makeup, no M&M eyeshadow, etc. So that's, yeah, it is a cardigan. Very, very much looks like Len's End, LL Bean kind of look. Talbots. I mean, that's what you want to look like. You want to look, they often will tell you to wear colors like that, pastel colors, to look less threatening, that you're less likely to commit a violent crime if you're wearing gentle colors. So already, oh, she's limping. We already have the limp. Did everybody catch the limp? Is she shackled? Curious. But already playing it up for the jury, the bad health. So this will go on for 3 days. We may start Friday or Monday. Opening statements. But I'm going to close the way I do. Does anybody have any questions? By the way, there are new emojis for channel members. I put them up. Followed your suggestions. There's a owl emoji. There's a Geek Squad emoji. There's a kosher style emoji. And I think if we get a couple more members, we can get more. She was cuffed. Okay, thank you. So she's shackled on the legs. Okay. Oh, she can't be cuffed or shackled in front of prospective juries. But did everybody see the limp? So she's already playing it up. Is her back ailing? Are her ear canals, her narrow ear canals bothering her? I don't know. All right, let's get into it. This was written on September 10th, 2019. Danny Markell was among my closest friends in Tallahassee, Florida, during the period that I lived there from 2004 to 2013. This is a victim impact letter. I end close to every single one of my episodes on this case with a victim impact letter. He was a brilliant man, a warm and generous human being. To this day, my daughter, Madeline, now 9, my son, Julian, now 12. Wait. I read this yesterday. Hold on. I picked one out. Hold on 1 second. This is not the one I wanted. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Sorry, it just flew for me. Okay. Your Honor, Dan Markell was my friend and a colleague. I still can't figure out how to be whole without him. He was present and intuitive and loving and nudging. He found time for me and our relationship in the most creative manner and performed friendship in ways that always felt genuine and from the right place. Although I literally wrote a book about friendship, I've always been chastened to know that he knew more about it than I ever would or could. I've gone from intimidated by Dan when I first met him to wholly admiring him in short order, but I now have to remain in a permanent state of grieving. I feel cheated because our friendship is now stuck in time. There was so much growing to do together, and I missed his companionship, and I miss his companionship so much. He is still teaching me and reaching from beyond the grave. I can reread him, think about what he would say about personal or professional challenges, conjure his goodwill. In these small ways, he lives on, and I take comfort that his vivacity in life left reverberations in death. But I am in mourning still. My life at work and at home is thinner, less vital, less analyzed, and less shared. I miss my friend, Ethan. This is from Ethan J. Lieb from Fordham University Stationery. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out, guys. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more court streaming from jury selection and back at night at 6 p.m. for a wrap-up. Have a great night, everybody.
Oh, Donna, what a stitch you're in. You plotted a murder 'cause you wanted to raise your daughter's kid. Tallahassee is just a stop on the way to civilization. Miami is where all the fancy people are. And the TV is about 5. You can't get away from that. Two-toe, tay-toe, hoo-ho, you know the guy you pay, and you can't get away from that. Oh, Donna, what a stitch you're in. the little people, but now you're so blankets with the locked up crew. You're a grandmother in lockdown, and your one-way ride to freedom you blew. Oh, Donna, what a stitch you're in. Your family are exiled from the social circles you swam in. We all know you never made that banana bread or offered to babysit for Dan, but you'll soon be making license plates and thinking about what could have